Hello, and thank you very much for joining me. This is the February 2022 update after a 2.5-month break for Christmas and what was meant to be the 31st of January deadline. Obviously, for many of you, the deadline is still to come. You should all have the notes in front of you or available if you need them. Just to remind you, if you've got any questions, then please fire away through Slido with the code number 210940. And I'll be checking that on a fairly frequent basis. What I'm hoping to do today is to cover a number of cases because we've had such a long gap. There's quite a large number of cases to cover. I will try to do it in a fairly brisk fashion, but we'll see how we get on. And if we run out of time, well, the notes cover the important points in any event. But just to give you a bit of an overview, the first case we'll be looking at is the case of Johnson, a case in which a nurse was trying to claim an exemption for a scholarship income for the money received while she was training on a midwifery course. A look at farming losses. This is a case which has gone up to the Court of Appeals. There have been a number of cases over the last few years restricting losses, sideways loss relief for farmers. This case, Nagshine, has gone to the Court of Appeal and looks at the test that restricts the losses there. Then we have two cases looking at the wholly and exclusively rule, in particular in the context of legal disputes and penalties, the case of Rogers and Scottish Power. And then an interesting case on entrepreneurs relief, or should I now call it business asset disposal relief, called Thompson, about an accountant who was selling off his practice over a number of years. A test case, or what was supposed to be a test case on research and development relief, the case of Quinn. An interesting case on the removal of gross payment status for the construction industry scheme, the case of Bagri. A rather sad case on class 3 national insurance, the case of Bradley. And then my occasional dipping my toe into VAT, the case of Rutherford Park, whether or not a landowner who sold sites for sales, for car boot sales, whether the supplies made were supplies of services which attracted standard rate VAT or in fact the exempt supply of a grant of interest in land. And then bringing up the rear is a case about the scope of partial closure notices. These were the invention of the Second Finance Act of 2017, trying to introduce a bit of flexibility into the world of self-assessment inquiries, the case of Imbirikos.